up because of how my FotR thing is going to go. So I am going to give you my historically relevant piece first. I happened to come to my first event in the society when I discovered Haiti just at the moment when the Graces, I believe, were stepping down and the Excellency Thorvald and Aloise were stepping up. So Her Excellency Aloise was the first SCA Baroness I met. She's not here, however, the other two Baronesses that I found inspiration are present, and I am certainly looking forward to finding just as much inspiration in you, Excellency. But this is a rondo of the three Baronesses. When I think of my past, as I do when I'm asked, then three ladies shine through, three examples I knew, all of grace unsurpassed. One Aloise, the first I passed, who for her role was perfect cast, with talents many and faults few, as I think of the past. Then Adalicious skills and sass, and inspiration she amassed. In glory welcomed Kate, so true and noble, who would come into our hearts and hold them fast when we are thinking of our past. Yes, I know I did. I was reprimanded by my daughter that I messed up the TH, but I think he knew what I was saying, even though I cannot pronounce the TH for the last week. So it happens. So the next piece I want to give you is a time-appropriate story of the Father Frost. And I believe that Her Majesty was interested in non-traditional performances, so this is a little weird how I do it. However, it's not that unusual in Falafia because I have it sort of been traditional for this particular event that I have recruited helpers to do my storytelling with, and so I have done today. And I would like my helpers to come up so that they are available. No? You don't have to if you don't want to. In a time long ago, in a village, there lived a doting father with his young daughter. He was getting on in years, and his wife was passed away quite some time ago, and the daughter was growing up, and he did not quite know what to do with this growing girl, for he was a man, and what do men know about daughters? So he looked and looked for a lady to find to take care of his young growing child, and it wouldn't be nice, wouldn't it, if she also had a daughter, then she would surely know what to do. And so he found just such a lady who indeed had a daughter of her own. And what a daughter it was. Oh, what a lady, such beauty, such grace, such wisdom. The man thought he could do no better. His daughter seemed to agree, and so they were married and joined their two households. But oh, joyous it was not. For the woman, as soon as she was married and the mistress of the house, placed her daughter at the front of all family affairs and shunted the man's daughter further and further away until all she got to do was feed the pigs and sweep them up and gather the firewood, and she worked from dawn to dusk while her stepsister was much admired and lavished with praise. As the daughters were growing up, the woman noticed that, however, despite her taking such a wonderful care of her daughter, she was growing inside the house without any sun and was kind of growing pale and wan. And her stepdaughter, despite all that hard work, was growing up quite lovely, and so the men in the village started to notice her. Oh, the woman did not like that. So she nagged and nagged her husband to get rid of his daughter, and get rid of his daughter, and get rid of his daughter. And she said there'll be no peace for him and no place for him in the household unless he gets rid of his daughter. So she took her daughter away to visit relatives. Her daughter away to visit relatives. And she ordered her husband that when she comes back, her stepchild is not to be there. So the man he cried all the way there. And as they were going into the woods, his daughter said, "Father, why do you cry?" And he says to her, "Oh, your stepmother, she ordered me to abandon you here in the woods, and I just cannot do it, but I love you so very much." And she said, "Oh, Father, do not cry." And she jumped off the sled and hit his horse, so he got driven away from the wood, and she soon disappeared in the snow. So the young girl didn't know quite what to do in the woods, so she wasn't even dressed for winter. So she sat down under a tree and shivered there in the wind. And then something happened. The woods grew still, the snow flickered low, and a man appeared. All regally dressed and powerful seeming, this was Father Frost. And as he saw this young girl sitting there, he thought, "I shall find out what kind of girl she is. I shall freeze her." And so he tried to cast his freezing spell on her. And she said to her, "How are you doing, maiden? Are you freezing yet?" And she said, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine, Father Frost. Do not worry about me." So she tried hard, he tried harder and harder, and he sent flurries about her, and he tried to freeze her, and she kept saying she was really cold. She was really cold, really. Yes, she was really cold. But she kept saying, no, I'm really fine. And so her lips were purple, and her face was white, and she still kept saying, "I'm fine." And so Father Frost relented and took this maiden to his house in the woods, gave her nice warm clothes to wear, and lavished her with many presents. He also gave her 3 horses and a sleigh of her own to take all at home. And so off she went with the horses and the sleigh, and was met by the house, by her father, who was much amazed that not only is she alive, but here she is with all these presents. And just then, her stepmother and stepsister have arrived home. And what do they see as not her stepdaughter? All in fancy garb and with all these gifts, and not looking any worse for the wear. "Oh, how did this happen? Where did all this come from?" asked her stepmother. And so, as her stepdaughter told her the story, she thought, "Oh, well, that is a solution to my trouble." Immediately, she said to her husband, "Take my daughter and take her to the woods and put her in the exact same spot, so she may come home with all the presents and all the goods. And perhaps we can muster up 6 horses this time. Wouldn't be that hard." So off to the woods they went. Off to the woods they went, and when the man thought that this was approximately kind of the right spot, he left his stepdaughter there and went home. And his stepdaughter was left there, but she, unlike her sister, was in fact wearing a nice coat and a nice shawl and a hat and mittens, so she wasn't quite homely. And so, when Father Frost made his appearance and started sending his snow flurries and freezing dress about, she shouldn't have really been all that cold, but she had not been outside much. And so she really felt it. She felt the bite of the cold. And so when he asked her, "How do you feel, maiden?" she said, "What do you think, old man? I'm freezing here." He said, "Oh, really? How about this?" And she said, "Really? You're going to freeze me some more? Stop doing that. Take me to your house and give me the horses and the trunks of the goods, and I want a nice dress too." Father Frost said, "Oh, that's not happening." So on he sent more snow flurries and a special spell as a present. And so the young lady quite froze through until she fell down on the ground. And so there he left her. Now, soon after, her stepfather came looking for her. For everybody was concerned, how is she not coming back with the 6 horses and all the goods? And so he found her there in the woods, quite frozen up, and dragged her home, where she was met by her concerned mother. And as soon as they sought her up and attempted to find out what exactly had every word she said, a frog would come out of her mouth. And if not a frog, then a toad. And so it was for the rest of her life, for such was the present of Father Frost to this rude maiden. So after all that, the old woman took her daughter and left our father. But he was no longer concerned because it didn't seem like his daughter needed any more taken care of. She was quite well set up and there was no end of suitors for her hand, and they lived happily ever after.